truth is, you don't have to be strong. When I was in the NICU, I remember so many people will tell you, just be strong, don't get down. But the reality is that one, strength can look so different depending on what you're going through, depending on the day. So you do not have to be strong every day. Hi, my name is Anissa Anazi, and I empower NICU and medical moms to find peace in some of the hardest seasons of their lives during the NICU and after. And today I want to talk about three strategies that helped me to find strength while I was in the NICU and be able to not only just survive, but to be able to find a place where I could thrive while in the NICU. And literally, I will still say today, one of the hardest seasons and times of my life. And so, the number one thing I want to talk about is being able to find hope filled messages. And what do I mean by that? When you're in the NICU, a lot of what you see is negative. What the doctors are telling you, it is reality of what your child is going through, but it can feel very negative, or you're hearing what's happening to a child next to you, or you're watching something on the news, or you're a part of a Facebook group and none of the stories are good. And so it's so important when you're in the NICU to maintain sort of your mental strength and health is to be able to find stories that are positive. So whether it's listening to a sermon or a positive message or reading something or a book, you have to be able to fill yourself up with something positive. And I remember when I was in the NICU for 9 months, just walking the hallways with my other son, with my son that was in there, his twin, just finding hopeful messages. I would just be walking around the hospital, or when I was in the room, I was listening to something that really just filled me with hope. And so, whatever you can find, if you can't find anything, send me a message. I will send you some resources. If you go on shefoundpeace.com, I have 30 days of inspiration and encouragement, and you can download that for free. And it has a positive statement for 30 days. You can read one a day, you can read two a day, you can read them over and over, you can print them out, you can post them in your room. But a number one key to being able to maintain that strength in the NICU is being able to fill yourself up with positive messages. And this is not toxic positivity, but this is how you're going to be able to cope mentally and emotionally, is balancing things out and finding hope-filled stories and messages. The second thing that I will say is one of the greatest strategies that you can use while in the NICU to maintain your strength is music. So have your playlist, find your favorite songs that are inspiring and inspirational. And music has the ability to uplift your spirit, your mood, the way that you're thinking. It can just really help you to cope with what's going on. And so there's days where I'm like, I did not want, although I love my son, I didn't want to go to the hospital that day. I just was like, the thought of being there again just made me sick. Like I wanted to see him, but just the whole routine. And so music would really help. And at the time, Maverick City Music was coming out with a new song. It felt like every month. And so I would listen to those songs. It would encourage me. Sometimes I would just be crying, and it was something that just uplifted my spirit and my soul. And the third thing that I would tell you in terms of finding that strength while you're in the NICU is community. Community is so big. You need community to maybe they're offering some kind of financial support or being able to support you with gas or food. And then the other part of community is really in terms of the encouragement that they can offer. And so maybe you can't talk to everyone, or maybe you're overwhelmed by the amount of messages and phone calls that you are getting, but being able to have that core community where you don't have to put up a front. You can literally just be you. You can call them, you can share how you're feeling, what you're going through. Maybe they can pray for you, maybe they can say something encouraging. But community is so big, and not isolating yourself so that you don't receive that amazing benefit that your community has and that I'm sure that they want to give you. And for me, my husband was a big support. So we were going through the same situation. We knew exactly what was going on with our son. And so it was great to be able to have those conversations and to talk to someone who really understood. There were some other mothers in the NICU that also became my community because, once again, it was during 2020, and everything was shut down. So we couldn't really have visitors. And so I found community with some of the other mothers that were there. So those are the three things that I want to share is find hope-filled messages, anything you can listen to, read that will fill you up with hope, to make your favorite playlist, put it together, listen to it, rotate the songs, find new songs, and then your community. Remember to tap into that community, reach out, be brave, and have conversations and receive the support that you need on this journey. And you are not going to feel strong every day. Even if you do all these things, every single day is not going to be a hope filled, strength filled day. It's just not going to be that. And that's okay. And that's where you offer yourself compassion. That's where you offer yourself grace and understanding that every day you're not going to necessarily feel strong, but the reality is that you are. You are, not because, and it's not even by choice. Unfortunately, we're in a position where this is the situation that we're in. And so be encouraged today. If you're sitting in the NICU, know that whether you feel you're strong or not, your strength is not measured by external factors, but it's measured by the core of who you are. And at the end of the day, you're an amazing mother. You're still showing up. You're still having conversations with the doctors and the nurses and the best that you can. And that's all that matters. Have a great day. You got this. And I will see you on the next video.